Hey, what's up, guys? Travis Peters back again with another episode of the Increase Life. We're going to continue talking today about tithing. And this is something that is on my heart because it has impacted my life more than almost anything else. All right? Tithing, guys, is simply you committing to giving 10% of your income to the local church where you were planted and spiritually fed. And I think it's really funny. A lot of people, a lot of Christians, they try to talk me out of tithing. They try to. It's funny. They want to say things like it's not for today. They want to say that tithing is old covenant. They want to say that it was a law that was for only a certain group of people and not for us. We should never even listen to this. And really silly stuff. Just they're trying to justify. They don't think tithing works. They can't afford it. They think money's tight, so I can't afford tithing. Let me justify. Let me go study some stuff and let me figure out and put some pieces together and make some things kind of stretched so that it feels like I can justify me not tithing. Well, we just give under grace today. We don't tithe. And really all that's happening, guys, is you're just missing out. You're just losing out on perks and benefits that God's promised us. And I remember one time that I was doing some preparation for a message on tithing, and I did a lot of Googling. I went deep on some research, and I found this guy who kept making videos and literally books on why we shouldn't tithe. And it's based off a bad experience. I think he went to a church and he found out that particular preacher was personally taking home the tithe. And that's not what really the tithe's for per se. It's like the guy was profiting off of tithes. And that's not, if you study it and you look into your church, most likely that's not how it's even operating. Anyway, the devil took a bad experience and he turned it into a doctrine. So he made multiple books on why you shouldn't tithe. And it's just crazy. It's just such a divisive, trying to create division, and it's just the enemy working through him. He doesn't know that. But so I looked up this guy and I looked at his life, and I found some of his biography, right? And he's been divorced 3 times. He keeps getting sick with massive diagnoses, like cancer stuff and on. Tumors and disease and all these things. Basically, he's lived this life since he decided to start preaching against tithing. He's lived a life of divorce, heartbreak, heartache, sickness. Basically, he's getting devoured. And as you guys know, in Malachi 3:11, one of the rewards of tithing is the devourer is rebuked for your sake. For those who've committed. Now, a tither is not somebody, let me tell you what it's not. A tither is not somebody who, hopefully, if I can, at the end of after I'm paying my bills, I've got some money to give to God. That's an offering. Tithing is your first 10% of your income. And when you give God your first and your best 10% of your income, remember, he's the source. He supplied you with that income anyway. Give it back to him. And when you do, you activate the rewards, the perks, the benefits of tithing. You have tithing rights. And one of those things is that God himself will rebuke the devourer off your life. Now, I do want you to hear my heart. If you've had cancer and sicknesses and diseases and things like that, this isn't God being mad at you and punishing you. What's happening, if you go back to Malachi 3:8, will a man rob God, yet you have robbed me? But you say, in what ways have we robbed you? And he says, in tithes and offerings. Malachi 3:9 says, so that now you are cursed with a curse, because you've withheld from me. Now, God's not saying, I cursed you. I made you sick. No. Mm-mm. If you're not tithing was like God saying, give me permission to work in your money. Show me that you trust me, and I can activate these perks and benefits, not just in your money, but in all areas of your life. I can rebuke the devourer off your life. I can make it to where people look at your land and say, that's a delight. That guy's different. That guy's flourishing and prospering. He's healthy. He's wealthy. He's wise. Look at his family. Look at his wife. Look at his kids. Look at what's going on. Look at the stuff he's doing. He's walking in his calling, walking in his purpose. He's succeeding in business. That guy's land's delightful. I want that. That's Malachi 3:12. But anyway, I just say that for that guy. It's like, man, I look at my life. I've been tithing since I was 19. I've never been late on a payment. I've never been behind financially. I've never really had any tight spots. I've flourished. I make more money in a month than most people make in a year. My tithe checks are bigger than my old paychecks. We retired my wife from her day job years and years and years ago. I quit my day job 7, 8 years ago. I now live on assignment, doing what God's called me to do and having a blast while doing it. We don't get sick. Our family's super healthy and always has been and always will be. When other people are getting sick all around us, it never touches the Peters. Why? I'm a tither. I'm committed, and I activate my tithing rights every single day. God, I thank you that devourers rebuked off my money, my life, my health, my kids, my wife, my family, my fields, my barns, my businesses. God, I thank you. I'm committed to tithing and I activate my tithing rights. People look at my land and they say, what a delight. That's available to you. Don't talk yourself out of this. Don't let the enemy talk you out of this. Don't let someone else talk you out of this. Go study this stuff for yourself. Get yourself a Dake study Bible. All right? Go read this. And it lines out everything about tithing. It goes back to Old Testament, Old Covenant, New Covenant. It talks about everything, how it plays in. Go get this in you. Go get this in you. I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to be the catalyst. I'm going to be the fire starter for you. But you go work on this yourself. Go build this into your life. I mean, God says this, test me. It's the only place in the Bible where he says, test me. Test me. Let me prove it to you. I'm going to read it to you in the New Living, all right? New Living Translation. Should people cheat God? Yet you've cheated me. But you ask, what do you mean? How do we ever cheat you? Now, side note, Malachi is talking. This is a prophet of God. This is how God spoke to people in the past. Okay? He did it this way. He had people and prophets and spoke through them. So this is the same as God speaking. He's just using Malachi's vocal cords. All right? What do you mean? When did we cheat you? He says, you've cheated me with your tithes and offerings due to me. You're under a curse. For your whole nation's been cheating me. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, so there will be enough food in my temple. If you do, says the Lord of heaven's armies, I will open the windows of heaven for you. You want that. I will pour out a blessing so great you won't have room enough to take it in. Try it. Put me to the test. He challenges you. He's double dog daring you right now, guys. Your crops will be abundant, for I will guard them from the devourer. Your grapes will not fall from the vine before they are ripe. The Message translation says, test me and see if I don't open heaven itself for you and pour you out blessings far beyond your wildest dreams. Another translation is, put me to the test. See if I won't open the floodgates of heaven for you and pour out a blessing far beyond your needs. This is the life of abundance, the life of more than enough, the life past your needs. Stop being so need-minded. Yeah, God promised to meet your needs. He says, I know your needs before you know your needs. I got you. Stop focusing on your needs. Let's go to another level now. Like hunter-gatherers focus on needs. People in poverty, survival mode focus on needs. He's like, I've got you. Matthew 6, when he's talking about, hey, I take care of birds. I take care of birds. They don't sow, they don't reap, they don't have barns, they don't have fields, they don't have businesses. I take care of them. I'm going to take care of you. You mean a lot more to me than a bird means to me. Go reread it for yourself. Matthew 6, right? God's got your needs met. Let's become tithers. Let's have the windows of heaven open above our lives, pouring out blessing far beyond our needs, far beyond our wildest dreams. Let's go live that life. See, a lot of you guys are doing this. A lot of you guys are living a life where you feel financially oppressed, suppressed, maybe even depressed, right? Struggling, wondering why things aren't working out, wondering why things aren't happening, wondering why it feels like your money is always getting devoured. I like that they use the word, I'll rebuke the devourer. It's a perfect word because it feels like my stuff's getting devoured, my money's getting devoured, my business is getting devoured, my clients getting devoured, my sales getting devoured, my leads getting devoured. Not if you're a tither. Now, is life going to be absolutely perfect and no issues from now on if you tithe? No, that's not how it is. But when those things come, there'll be times in my life where I'm a tither and have been since 19, and it'll feel like my money's getting devoured in a certain particular month. And I will stop and I will say no. And I'll open my Bible and I will point out to the enemy what Malachi 3:8-12 says, and I will claim my rights as a tither, my rewards as a tither. I will say, God, you've rebuked this off my life. I'm not doing the rebuking. God's doing the rebuking, but it's activated when I tithe. I'm a tither, so God, you've rebuked this. All right? Devil, you got to take your hands off my stuff, off my money, off my field, off my crops, off my kids, off my wife, off my health. You got to take them off because I'm a tither. Get out of here. Man, activate your faith, guys. Don't tell me you're still getting your butt kicked by this stuff when God's given you all the promises, authority, and power to go live a life where you dominate. All right? The first commands he gave us back in Genesis was to subdue and dominate. What are you doing? Stop getting your butt kicked. Become a tither. Test him. Just test him. All right? That's all I'm asking you. If you're not tithing yet, test him. If you are tithing, you need to verbally activate your rights as a tither. You need to understand this stuff. You need to go read it again. God opening the windows of heaven above your life is what you need to be living under. If money is tight right now, don't pull back the tithe. Don't withhold the tithe, because then the windows of heaven are going to shut. You need them open right now more than ever. What are you doing? God, if you need provision right now, you need to be tithing. But it's so hard. Yeah, that's why he says, test me. He said, try it. I'll prove it to you. It's the only place in the Bible he says this. I'll prove it to you. If you bring back 10%, he's like, I gave it to you anyway. I gave you that job. I gave you that connection, hooked you up with that business, hooked you up with that sale. I made it all happen. Just trust me with your money. This is what I say. This is giving God permission to operate in your finances. Instead, you're saying, no, I got this. I got this, God. I'll handle the money thing. You handle just the salvation part. If that's all you can live, that's low level thinking, guys. Low level. Yeah, you're saved. Cool. Awesome. Take that, put it on the shelf, and let's go produce some fruit. Let's go do some good stuff for God. Let's go expand the kingdom. Let's go live a life with the windows of heaven open above us. Let's go live a life where the devourer is rebuked for our sake. He's rebuked off our stuff, our life, our health, our money, our fields, our business. And let's live a life where people look at you and say, that guy's land is the delight. I want what he has. I want what she has. I need to go see what's up. I need to see why they're getting different results than I'm getting. You need to stand out in this way. Commit to being a tither. The first 10% of your income goes to God's storehouse. He'll hook you up. He'll take care of the rest. He'll make sure you never run out of opportunity to make money. That's why I look at that blessing scripture. He'll pour out blessing upon your life. I don't look at that as he's going to rain cash down from the heavens and I walk outside and there's $100 bills on my driveway. He gives me opportunity. He gives me business ideas. He gives me partnership ideas. He might give you overtime. I remember there's times when I needed money and God gave me overtime opportunities at work. So I took them. I came early. I stayed late. And that money that came in more than covered my needs. He poured out blessing far beyond my needs. He poured out opportunity. And I'm in a spot right now where I'm having to build teams. I've got so much opportunity and so many ideas on how to make money in businesses that I don't have time to do it all. I literally have to build teams. I can't contain it all. Remember what he said? Pour out a blessing so great you can't contain it? I can't. I've got to go and create teams to activate and operate these opportunities, these ideas that I have. Otherwise, I won't be able to contain it all. And when I do that, when I build these teams and have other people run with my ideas, that's just flowing blessing into their life because I'm going to pay them financially. They're going to make money. They're going to sell a great product that's going to bless the buyer. They're going to get blessed for working for me. I'm going to get blessed. My family's going to get blessed. And God's going to give a big old fat tithe check. And it's going to just start that blessing cycle all over again. Tithing's really cool because it activates like this blessing snowball where he hooks you up. You hook him back up. He gives you more. Now you've got something bigger to tithe off of. You give that in there. He gives you more. Now you got something even bigger to tithe off of. Just that blessing snowball. He's bigger and faster and momentum of increase starts hitting your life. Guys, you want to be a tither. Here's the worst case scenario. If you ask God, Lord, where should I be tithing? Ask him. He will tell you. You go do it. And he said, what if the preacher takes my money? All that matters is you were obedient to God. If that preacher goes and takes that money and does something crazy with it, That's on him. Your job is to be obedient. Just ask God, where should I be tithing? And God, help me. Like it's hard for me to think about tithing because I'm kind of broke right now. He said, don't worry, test me. I'm challenging you. Test me in this. Try me. Put me to the test. I'm going to prove it to you. I'll open the windows of heaven. All you got to do is test me. All right. I love you guys. Make sure you like this stuff. Subscribe to this stuff. I got new content coming out almost daily. If you want more information, more about my programs, if you want to go deeper on these things, check the links below. Love you guys. See you in the next one.